Oh man, I'm nervous.
Well,
Wow.
there'll be.
This is
Like,
a
what if I
high-
mess up? Can I be like, cut?
So how did you first get involved with us, the Strindberg Laboratory?
Yes. Okay, so it was back in October, I think, around like 2017, my last year studying theater at LACC Theater Academy. And I was given the opportunity to direct a play for this final semester in college. And it was called The Pedestrian, and I put it on, and Michael and Mary came to see it. And they witnessed it firsthand, my directorial debut, and they asked me to jump on board with them and start teaching workshops down in Skid Row in the LA Mission.
Then what was the thing you did in LA Mission?
So I taught workshops. I think it was about 7 months of teaching workshops
Yeah.
with men that were recently incarcerated and homeless. And then after we did the workshop, we were given the opportunity from Michael and Mary to, and I say we because my friend Casper, who I studied with at LACC, jumped on board to teach the workshops as well. And we were given the opportunity to write a play and put it on for some of the men that were involved with getting school credit from LACC that were part of the LA Mission.
And what was the play you directed?
It was called The Destiny is the Journey.
And where was it?
It was filmed, or it was put on at LACC Theater Academy, but we taught in Skid Row in the LA Mission.
Yeah. Any specific things that happened, like a kind of challenges you had, or kind of a breakthroughs, or?
Yeah, I think there were challenges being the only woman in the room besides you at times, for sure. And also, the men that we taught were, very, a lot of walls up and a lot of defensiveness, and because of their hardships they had to endure. And there were moments where I did feel very small in the room, but then I also getting to know them on a deeper level and kind of releasing those walls and letting go of those veils and seeing us just as humans. It was a process. It took time. But I know in the beginning there were times when I left and I did feel that Casper sort of had to take a little bit of the dominating role. And it did make me feel small, but we talked about it after and had like catch-ups with it, and then knew that, this is the situation it is. And I in the end, I felt it made me grow a lot of strength to step into those boots of like, I can do this too. Yes, it is a room full of men, and they're dominating and can be kind of aggressive, but in the journey and in the process of developing the project and writing the script and doing exercises, it sort of, everyone kind of released and we all started to have fun, and there wasn't a hierarchy, and it was more of just like all of us getting to know each other on it.
Dance and move
And what was the play about? We didn't cover that.
No, we didn't. Yeah.
Oh, The Destiny is the Journey, and it was a story of a man that was in pursuit to, what was it? To reach enlightenment. And I think on his process on the process of enlightenment, he met other individuals that guided him to enlightenment. Something like that. It's been a while. Yeah.
That's where we met you.
Oh yeah, where are you from?
Yeah.
Where are you from?
I am
originally?
from Irvine, California.
Oh, why did I think you were from somewhere
Small
far?
Rubble. Well, I feel like I was from somewhere far all the time.
You felt
but
far away.
yes, in my imagination, yes. Irvine, California. I left when I was about 18, and I moved to South Lake Tahoe. Lived there for a little bit, like mountain life, and then moved to Berkeley. Did a lot of traveling, trying to find myself. Lived in San Francisco for some time. Landed in LA, 2013, And then I took one class with Fred Fate at LACC. It was a summer class, or no, winter. And it really, like, woof, it was a roller coaster, and it was also this moment where I'm like, wow, I got to do this. Like, I found a way to express myself, and I was encouraged, and I've met amazing people in that first class that I'm still great friends with. And I didn't really have a sense of community, and I was sort of lost and floating for a while and kind of trying to find myself, and jumped into theater, and I found a way to express myself in such a deep way, and jumped on that class. And then I decided I'm going to take 3 years and really strap in and study, and it was boot camp. It was very intense, but it was amazing. It was one of the most gratifying experiences of my life thus far.
What made you decide to start doing theater? Was it just like a whim?
It was a whim, and it was also like people believing in me and seeing something in me, and also finally finding a way to express myself, because I had a lot of inner, like, there's like these birds inside of me that want to break free, and I didn't really know how to do it, and instead I did other ways of expression, or not expression, but suppressing. And so I found a way to really just let those birds free and really find expression in the power of theater.
Tell more about, you went to Europe, you go to Italy.
I did. I've been to Italy, I've been to Florence, Venice, I've been to Paris, Berlin, London. There's so much more I want to explore. Yeah. And then I've done South America, I've done Costa Rica, all through the States. I've taken a train through the United States, Canada. But there's just so much more to explore, which is exciting, yeah.
So what kind of things it is that you want to say? Like, tell.
Oh. That I want to tell. I feel as individuals and as humans, we all come from a place, and that place is a place of is a story, right? We all come from a story, a background, hardships, and also joyful experiences. And to have, being an expressive person, to be able to be a speaker of truth, and to be a storyteller of our lives, of where we've come from or where we're going. And as you mentioned, the feminist piece that I'm working on, it's a collaboration of women that I actually studied with at LACC, and we're coming together as a unit to express our divine imagination of being feminist and being women in this world we live in, but also how deeply rooted is and entangled to nature, and how I think as a collective consciousness, and especially living after this year of COVID, we need to come together more as a community. That's what's so beautiful, what the Strindberg Laboratory does. It's coming together as a community to create and be speakers of truth of what's happening in the current times. And I think what I'm currently looking for is to really break, or maybe I shouldn't use that's a strong word, but to really shift my ancestral pull that I feel as a human is like really pulling me to follow this way of living, which as an ancestral in my lineage has had a lot of there's a lot of darkness or a lot of damage and a lot of this repetition of following, patterns that are habitual patterns that don't really change the way we think. And I now currently feel like I'm on this mission to change that.
How would you describe the Strindberg Laboratory, someone who hasn't ever heard of them?
The Strindberg Laboratory, is a grassroots organization that I believe is really trying to bring arts back to the community, and especially in parts of the community that need it most, that are lacking the funds to have the ability to create. and to have the community be part of the process as well, using theater, having them interact with one another, challenging them to use their voices, to use their minds. It's a nonprofit that's really fighting to speak for individuals and communities that don't have the opportunity to speak their minds in an artistic way.
I guess,
And
what do you
I
think?
think,
Like, obviously we're not doing theater now because of COVID, but
Right.
what do you, like...
So what is the role of the theater?
Yeah,
and
what is
then
the role?
the second question is it gonna change because of COVID?
Yeah,
like,
that's
is
a
it
good one.
ever coming
Yeah.
back? It's the same?
You know, well, the role in theater, you mean...
Like you're like in the world, like in
Oh.
the you know,
Oh,
in
you know, I feel like
culture.
theater is the beginning foundation of storytelling. It's like, I remember one of my mentors in school said, you gather around a fire. You know, when we were first humans, we gather around fire and we tell stories and we express it in movement and sound. And that is what theater is. It's a live, first-hand experience of expression, you know, and I think, unfortunately, the times that we're living in, you know, things have shifted in different ways, you know, and for the worse and for the better. But I hope it comes back. I truly do, and I think that it will. I think that theater is not gone. I think that it is going to be still here, you know, as we are shifting into, you know, people are getting vaccinated and the world is slightly reopening. I think it will come back. I think it's just being patient and maybe finding other ways of creating theater, you know, whatever that may be, you know.
Right.
some-
Well, I mean that's
Yeah,
crazy.
I guess we have to wait until the world opens, you know,
Yeah.
which is happening.
Yeah, hopefully it'll keep happening.
I know.
Although it was good for the environment shutting down everything,
Oh my
wasn't
gosh, you actually saw stars in
it?
LA.
I know.
Yeah, it was hard. There were moments of, you know, despair and like lots of heartache and just watching the news and, you know, so much fear. I think we had to endure through that year, and I think, you know, for me, it gained a lot. I'm really grateful. I know it's different for everybody, but sitting with myself, you know, in silence for the first time, like I live alone and got over a breakup and was forced to like reflect and think in silence for the first time in my life for months was really intense, but also like a big breakthrough. I feel for me was to be able to process pain in silence, you know, and to reflect really deep and, you know, go to those unhappy places to find the happiness.
What's a poem that you love to say, or that you wrote? Do you want to share one? I forgot. I was going to ask you that, and then I forgot, but now I remember. That means you have one.
Okay. The currents of change shape a shift where pieces of the inner puzzle went floating into the hands of a higher power. I feel the strings pulling me in every direction, a whirling dervish growing new muscles in the mind, as I spin in a world within worlds, roaming the rough edges of the heart. My tears will become my wings as I climb to different frequencies. Hold on to the anchor, let go of the sails.